I want to share some numbers with you. 2017, 11 subscribers, launched my coaching business. 2018, 103 subscribers, $250,000 in revenue. 2019, 586 subscribers, $500,000 in revenue. 2020, 3,552 subscribers, $1.1 million in revenue. Yes, these are real numbers from a real client that I have worked with. And this is just the beginning of the story. And I can't wait to share with you what's happened since to his business. Spoiler alert, it's grown exponentially. I'll share all those details at the end of the video. So how on earth do you turn 103 subscribers into $250,000 in revenue or 3,500 subscribers into over $1 million in revenue? I'm gonna break down exactly what happened so you can leverage this model for your own business. And I actually went ahead and created a free ebook of this case study. And if you want it, just comment below with "give me the ebook, please," and we will send you over that direct link. I've been doing the work that I love for a long time now, which is helping people with an expertise or a certain skill set take that and increase their income and their impact for global reach using online courses and online education. And because I've been doing this so long, I've been able to witness the most incredible start to finish transformations with the people that I have worked with. And I really wanted to share this story because it's a perfect representation of what I talk about a lot, which is you can turn a small targeted audience into massive, massive impact and massive income if you do it the right way. So let's get into the details. So Brandon is a real estate expert, and he has an online program that teaches realtors how to leverage his reverse selling method. Brandon uses YouTube to create content specifically for his ideal client and turn them into clients of his online program. Now, this doesn't happen overnight, but this all started from very humble beginnings. Brandon shared recently, I started working with Sunny when I had less than 75 subscribers. I remember when her and I were working on getting my channel to 300 subscribers. So from 300 subscribers to over 7 figures in revenue annually, how did this all happen? Well, the first piece of this puzzle is you have to know that there are 3 steps to going from expert to thriving entrepreneur, which are first and foremost mastery. So really mastering your craft and knowing it inside and out and putting in the hours and putting in the work to become really great at it. And from there, you would inevitably create your own method and way of doing things to get the results that you're seeking in the most efficient way. And from there, that's when people start to look at you and go, well, what's their secret? How do I do what they do? People are reaching out to you for help, probably asking you for advice, wanting to pick your brain. And that is a really good sign that you're at a place where you're in a perfect spot to mentor. And Brandon's a perfect example of that. So he put in the work. He is a very well-respected person inside of his industry, and especially locally, he had really built up his reputation for being an expert in the real estate space. But locally, you always are inevitably going to hit that ceiling because there are only so many people in your local area. So by packaging up his expertise into a scalable model, which is an online program, he was able to reach global potential clients. And because he creates massive value in his free content, he's able to turn strangers on the internet all over the world into clients for his online program on repeat, taking him from trading time for money to truly detaching his time from his income and being able to achieve success on his own terms, which meant he wanted to be successful in all aspects of his life, which is something that we were able to talk about when I sat down and chatted with him a few years ago.
I am more fit now than I ever have been. We retired my wife from her full-time grind career. I couldn't do any of this stuff. I was overweight, overworked, underpaid, bad husband, bad dad, to now like making more money than I've ever made, working the least amount of hours, feeling better than ever. I'm serving more people, getting more benefit. I mean, it's just it's just amazing, this life that you can have.
But I need to issue a word of warning because something interesting happens when you start to gain a little bit of success. There's this inevitable feeling like you need to just sabotage it, even if you aren't aware of what you're doing. So I want you to remember these words. You always want to be a big fish in a small pond. So Brandon, a few years ago, actually reached out and asked me this question. Am I wrong to think that I could reverse this and teach my reverse selling strategy to anyone who sells a product or service. So he was going from supporting and helping realtors, which he is one, so he has all this experience behind him in that specific industry and space, to wanting to help anyone and everyone who sells something. That takes you from a big fish in a small pond to being a small fish in a massive ocean. And what happens when that happens? You are going to sink, drown, or get eaten by the competition. Thankfully, we resisted the temptation. Brandon got back on track, and he's one of the most well-respected channels and authorities inside of the real estate space. I want you to think about this strictly from a numbers perspective. Think about how many business coaches there are on YouTube. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And the challenge is when you aren't serving people from a place of your own experience. Take Brandon, for example. Brandon is a real estate expert. He has been in the industry and done the work for such a long time that he is uniquely equipped to serve realtors. He is not uniquely equipped to serve somebody who has a brick and mortar store. So what I want you to understand is the depth of the impact that you can make on the people that you are serving is in direct correlation to how narrowly you focus. So you want to start by dominating in one particular niche to build your authority. From there, once you have credibility, authority, and you've built respect and a bit of an audience, that gives you flexibility and wiggle room to start growing and expanding what you're talking about and who you're focusing on. So it takes you from a big fish in a small pond to a big fish in a lake to a big fish in the ocean who is not going to get eaten by the competition. But the mistake most people make is they jump into the ocean first. They jump into the deep end, and that positions you as this teeny tiny little fish in a massive sea of, like I said, competition. And ultimately, you kill your momentum or your success because you're drowning in that sea of competition or getting eaten by the competition before you can even make it in the lake or in the pond. So in order to position yourself to be discovered as the go-to authority in your unique skill set and expertise, you have to have a unique selling proposition or what we call a transformation statement. So think about how you would complete this sentence. I help blank go from blank to blank so that they can blank. By being able to fill out those blanks as specifically as possible, you are narrowing your focus in terms of who you're trying to reach and what you want to be known for. And that is your greatest competitive advantage to stand out in a very crowded marketplace. So if you have ideas on that, I urge you to pause the video right now and comment below with your unique selling proposition. Because what do you need most in business? You need sales. In order for something to actually be a business, it needs to generate revenue. But how do you get sales? Well, you need leads. But you can't get leads if you don't have messaging and marketing that actually attracts people to become a buyer. If you don't have messaging or marketing that works, that means that you're not very clear on who exactly you're serving and ultimately what you're offering to that person. This is why we call this the roadmap to creating a successful online education business. It has to go in this order. So getting very clear in your unique selling proposition first and foremost positions you to have long-term sustainable success and growth. Because ultimately your uncopyable and unique niche is made up of the offer you have, so what you're offering to people and who you're offering it to. Which brings me to my next point. You have to approach YouTube as a business owner, not as a content creator. And Brandon is such a great example of this. When Brandon and I first started working together and he had 75 subscribers, his big goal was, I want to get more subscribers. I want to get more views. And we had a very good conversation in those early days where I said, let's not make that the focus. We want to make the accuracy of the eyeballs on your channel more important than the number of eyeballs. And that is advice that is paid off in dividends. Because truthfully, the size of your subscriber base doesn't have a lot to do with the growth of your business. So instead of going down the path of a content creator who needs to rely on the amount of eyeballs that are seeing their content, Brandon went down the path of a business owner. So he was focused solely on the accuracy and making sure he was only reaching his ideal clients and viewers with his content. And this allowed him to turn a small audience into a highly profitable audience. And he recently reiterated this when he shared his progress update on his business. He said, don't get caught up in the vanity metrics. Subscribers have nothing to do with your business success. Make content that speaks to your ideal clients, not content that drives subs, views, likes, etc. Because when you attract the right eyeballs, those folks are more likely to turn into actual clients in your business and people that are a part of your long-term community. So the process that Brandon followed that you can too is sharing your expertise for free on YouTube, which leads to global customer reach. And when you've productized your knowledge and have that available to your viewers on YouTube, it equals unlimited earning potential. So when somebody watches your YouTube video, you need to send them from your YouTube video to your email list. And from your email list, they will potentially become a client. But most importantly, you can continue to nurture them with your free content and your expertise to consistently show up as the authority that they're looking for. Or you can take them from YouTube video to client. So from your YouTube videos, you can give them a direct buy button to go and buy your product or service, or you can give them a link to book a call with you where you can discuss if they're a perfect fit for your online program. And before implementing this with his YouTube content, there was nowhere for people to go after they watched Brandon's video. But once they were able to opt into his email list or book a call for his online program, he was able to turn things around quite quickly. And he shared, "Big win for my team. This is literally insane. After implementing one funnel for my YouTube videos, here's what happened in the last 7 days." And he was able to generate $20,000 within a 7-day period. I went over this process in depth on how to monetize your expertise on YouTube in this video, so I do recommend you check that out next. And when you're thinking about how to grow a business, leveraging a platform like YouTube, you do want to think in terms of dollar per sub. The less subscribers you have, but the more targeted they are, the higher dollar per subscriber ratio is. And that is a metric that helps you solidify why having a small targeted audience is much better than having a big surface level audience. For example, in 2020, when Brandon generated 1.1 million with 3,500 subscribers, his dollar per sub was $300. So each subscriber was valued at $300 to his business. Comparatively, we recently had a client come to us who had 200,000 subscribers and is making less than $2,000 a month with her business. So her dollar per sub is roughly 1 cent. The higher your dollar per sub ratio is, the more you are appealing to your ideal client and viewer, and the more profitable and targeted your content truly is. So it's a great metric to measure how effective your work and your time and your effort into your content actually is. And this puts it all in perspective of why subscriber growth is not the end goal. Targeted views is the end goal, which is why the key metrics for your videos no longer become views, but instead retention rate, the demographic that you're reaching, and the qualitative feedback that people are leaving on your videos. And when you do shift your focus in this way to truly leverage YouTube as a platform for your business, this is what happens. We start to see this momentum build on its own, and your channel starts to reach more and more of the right people on autopilot. And this is what we call the YouTube flywheel. So it starts with knowing your ideal viewer and making hyper relevant content for that ideal viewer, so the algorithm can categorize your channel and use the internal traffic sources to reach more of those people without any extra effort from you. So to wrap up the video, I want to share the progress report of where Brandon is at with his business today. In 2021, with 11,502 subscribers, he generated over $2 million in revenue with his online program. In 2022, with 30,000 subscribers, he generated over $3 million in revenue. In 2023, with 60,000 subscribers, he generated over $4 million in revenue. And in 2024, he recently hit 100,000 subscribers, and they're estimated to do roughly $5 million. He says the point is there are many YouTubers that have millions of subs but haven't broken 7 figures in their business. Don't forget why we create content. We create content to attract our ideal clients, content that they feel speaks to them directly. When you do this, you'll become the go-to authority in your space. I couldn't be more thrilled for this entire story, and it's so amazing for me to see from the beginning stages to where Brandon is now, and to be able to do that with so many people that I do work with in so many different niches. It's just the reason we do what we do. So if you're really serious about this, I do encourage you to click the link below in the description and fill out an application so you can work with myself and my team on making this a reality for you, and you can be our next progress report and case study. And if you do want a copy of this case study and what Brandon has been able to do and how you can implement it for yourself, just comment below with "Give me the ebook, please." Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.